So as we covered in our previous video, PSN went down over the weekend for 18 hours. It's a far cry from like the 2 to 3 weeks it went down back in 2011, but gamers were quite rightfully really peeved off. And it was just crickets from Sony the entire time. Well, good news, because you're getting compensated. Let's talk about it right now and let's see what people are saying about the compensation. Is it enough? Let's get into it. But before we do, check the links down below in the video description for some really cool tech deals and great stuff. Probiotics, cool stuff all around. If you have the time, go check it out after the video. There's some really cool stuff and I've laid it out really nicely for you. You won't regret it. Some really cool stuff down there. Anyways, on to the news. So Dexero, PlayStation has confirmed the PSN outage was, well, an operational issue, whatever that means. Was it a hack? I guess we won't know until they announce it and tell us all to change your credit card details. But existing PS Plus players and users are getting 5 days of free PS Plus in compensation. Non-PS Plus users get nothing, because you didn't pay your monthly subscription fee. Now, in my previous video, we talked about this. I said at the very least, what they should do is give people at least 5 to 7 days compensation, because a lot of people maybe had their day off over the weekend on Friday, going into Saturday. They had their day off, and it was their only time to kick back and play some games online on their PS5, you know? And, you know, who knows? You know, a day that they maybe booked to get off, maybe it was just their time off work, whatever the case. Obviously, you know, that was a day they never had to play their games on the PS5. So I thought at the very least Sony should at least give them like an extra 7 days on their subscription at no additional cost. Just that way, when they next get a day off, maybe whether it be next weekend, you know, they'll get an extra week on top of their subscription to basically make up for it. And 5 days is pretty good. So if you had like one day that was ruined because of this, because let's be honest, it was like 18 hours. If you had one day that was ruined by it, you're going to get an extra 5 days of free PS Plus. So it's pretty good. It works out in a way. Saves you some money as well. And I think that's more than acceptable from PlayStation for that. Let's see what people have to say though. Oh, and it's not all bad news. It's not all good news and bad news. There's actually more good news, because Destiny 2 is actually also offering bonus to players due to PSN outage, even though it wasn't their issue, unless it was Bungie's fault. Who knows? Bungie offers a bonus to Destiny 2 players due to PSN outage with an additional contest mode opportunity. The date and time will be announced soon, but it will give players another chance to finish contest mode for the Sundered Doctrine dungeon. Other companies are also compensating players for the outage, including Sony with a 5 free day extension. We'll obviously cover this if other developers maybe give a sort of bonus for this outage, because obviously they know it's important. You know, they know if you've just got back from a long day at work, it's a Friday night, you just want to kick back, grab a beer, grab a drink, whatever, get some pizza and enjoy some video games as you're chilling for the evening. And obviously if you weren't able to do that on a Friday night, and maybe, you know, Friday night, Saturday is the only time you get to play games, you know, it can be a bummer. So I'm glad that they're making things right. I'm glad other developers and studios are actually throwing us bonuses as well for it. If, you know, hopefully it makes up for it. I think 5 days is pretty reasonable. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Anyways, let's see what people over on X have to say about this, the compensation. Players want a more detailed explanation for the outage. Many single-player games require internet connection to play, leaving even non-PS Plus users affected. And again, that's a fair point by Dexero. You know, obviously, DRM sucks, right? This whole requirement that we have to be connected online to the internet to play games that we paid money for, offline games, portions of the games where, you know, that have nothing to do with the internet or needing the internet to play them. I hate the fact that games are adding this, and this is another reason why, and I'm going to keep using this example as a reason why games need to get rid of DRM, at least the online requirement component of it, right? We shouldn't be buying a single player game and have to connect every time to the internet to play the game. I understand on PC maybe when it's more liable to be hacked, or games are more liable to be cracked, etc. But for console, there's not really that to worry about, unless you're some elite hacker who's maybe modded his console. I don't know, but I think games shouldn't need an online connection to play their single-player components, right? Obviously. I think that's silly, and obviously some games were affected because of that, and again, that's why that shouldn't exist. Why would non-PSN users get anything? Good question. Can you imagine? I wonder if there's somebody out there that's like, why am I not getting 5 free days of PS Plus? Why? Damn it. Sony, what the hell? I'm cancelling my PSN Plus right now. Oh wait, I'd never had it to begin with. Still, I want a refund on something I never paid for. There will be those people. I wonder. Let's read the replies to that post actually, just to see, because the outage also affected single player games, so even people that don't have PS Plus were affected. Okay, well, Lord Mordrak, there we go, back to our previous point, connecting online just to play the single player. That I guess, but at the same, I mean, maybe they should get compensation, or maybe they should just remove the online requirement altogether. But really, if the game didn't require PSN Plus, if it didn't require PSN Plus, but it required an online connection, you know, that is a bit of a bummer. But oh, I don't know how you would compensate for that. Let me know in the comment section what you do. I have seen some folks on here complain about the compensation. 5 free days. Are you serious, bro? It's 5 free days. 5 free days of PS Plus for existing users is nice, but what about the rest of us who don't have it? Seems a little one-sided. Damn you, Sony, for not giving me free stuff for stuff I never paid for. Free stuff. Imagine being PlayStation anyways. Sony's a pretty petty company, so I couldn't ever have any of their products. Good for you, dude. Beam, standing by your morals. When will you receive the 5 days exactly? After your subscription runs out, or are people being refunded 5 days worth? Because in case anyone hasn't thought about it yet, 5 free days is beyond useless for a subscription service unless the price is comped, right? Could have given PS Plus users a month of service for free at the very least. Yes, those 18 hours that it was down. We deserve a month. No, a year of free PS Plus. 2 years. In fact, because of those 18 hours that it was offline, I want unlimited PS Plus for a lifetime. That is the least they could do. I don't blame these guys for trying, but yeah, nah, at least give us all 1 free week of PS Plus Premium. That's it. I'm moving to Xbox and PC. And again, not good for COD's BO6's campaign, which requires constant online connection. Activision, Blizzard, and Microsoft. Oh, yeah, they're sticklers about that. So it didn't affect non-PS Plus users then. How does that work? 5 additional days? Well, oh, here we go. Wait, hold on. Oh, before we move on, 5 extra days for PS Plus users is something, but it's well that non-subscribers just have to eat the downtime. Sony playing favorites? Well, yes, because they need to make money. But yeah, let me know what you think. They're saying operational issues is the reason why it went down. That could mean anything, frankly. It could mean that it was hacked. We don't know. We're gonna have to just wait and see. But yeah, I think 5 days is pretty reasonable. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Obviously there is that concern that for games like Black Ops 6 that do have single player parts that do require an internet connection just to load, which is stupid, I think. Obviously there is something to be said about those people that just couldn't play their single player games. It's kind of unlucky that the 18 hours out of the year that it was down, you know, you chose to play your single player games then. I kind of feel like some people are just fishing for compensation. 5 days I feel like is pretty reasonable, but feel free to disagree. Let me know in the comment section. Anyways, I'm Laced OK. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, I'm kind of hoping you will. And please check the links down below as well in the video description again for some really cool deals and cool tech and cool stuff for your health and stuff. The best TV, the best tech you can get. Hands down, I've put countless hours into researching the very best for you. So if you checked it out, it'd be really cool. Anyways, love you. I appreciate you. And I'll see you in the next video. What drama will happen in the gaming world next? I guess you'll just have to tune in and see. Peace out.
Let's go.